So let's discuss the properties of greatest integer function. In part 1 we saw the definition and some examples. We will continue with that. So let's take an example now. If x is between -1 to 7/5, find all possible values of greatest integer x. Now how we will proceed with this? How to do this? Let's see. Approach. The hint to this is split this interval into intervals, so many intervals from an integer to the next integer, because from integer to the next integer the value of greatest integer x is fixed, is constant. So it's like this. So what I meant is this: from -1 to 0, integer to the next integer, what is greatest integral value of this? Then again from 0 to 1, 1 to 7/5, what is the greatest integral value? Now if you can see here, the greatest integral value from -1 to 0 is -1. From 0 to 1 it is 0, and 1 to 7/5, which is around 1.4, its value is 1. So all possible values are how many? -1, 0, 1. There are 3 values. Okay. Let's take another example now. If x is between 0 to 9, 0 included, what are the possible values of root x greatest integer? How we will proceed with this? Our approach would be find the range of root x from the range of x. Okay, and then again split the interval from integer to the next integer, as I said, in which greatest integer gives a constant value. So if you see, under root x, under root of 0 is 0, under root of 9, okay, that is the positive square root we take always, so it is 3. So root x, range of root x is from 0 to 3. So now we can split it into how many intervals? Okay, that we will write. So if you think, 0 to 3 can be again divided into 3 intervals, integer to the next integer, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 included, 2 to 3, 2 included, in which the value of greatest integer root x, in this case it would be 0. In this case 1 to 2, greatest integer is 1, and here 2 to 3 it is what? 2. So number of all possible values are what? 0, 1, 2, again 3 values. Okay. Next property is this: x is any real number, x belongs to set of real number, and I is any integer. Okay. So what do you think this property is equal to? So yes, it is equal to greatest integer x plus I. Now how? So we'll assume x is equal to I1 plus f, where I1 is the integral part or greatest integral part, and f is as usual the fractional value, fractional part, 0 to 1. Now we'll substitute it here. So this x becomes I1 plus f plus I, which gives us I1 plus I plus f. So from this is a fraction, so the integral value of this would be I1 plus I, but I1 is greatest integer of x, so that's how it is proved. Okay, so like x minus 3 greatest integer, you can write as x greatest integer x minus 3, 7 plus x greatest integer we can write as 7 plus greatest integer x. So if greatest integer of x plus 5 minus half equals to 7/2, what is x, or what are the range of values of x? Just try. So you might have observed the solution is quite straightforward. This 5 comes out and this half goes this side on the right hand side, 1 by 2, and greatest integer x, this becomes 8 by 2 minus 5, which is 4 minus 5 equal to minus 1. So greatest integer x equals to minus 1 means what? What is x? So we know that if x, greatest integer x is equal to n, then x lies between n to n plus 1. So using this, x would be, here n is minus 1, so minus 1 to minus 1 plus 1, the answer of this is minus 1 to 0. If I ask you if x is an integer, minus x greatest integer minus of greatest integer x, can we say that they are equal? Yes or no? So the answer is yes. This is an identity. If you take any example, minus 7 is equal to minus of 7, minus 7 only. Okay, so it can be proved easily. The next property is this: greatest integer x plus minus x greatest integer is equal to what? I will give you two cases when x is an integer, when x is not an integer. What do you think it should be? No stand. So yes, if you think or if you verify with some examples, you will see this is 0, this is minus 1. This we already did in the previous example. How we will establish this? The second one, greatest integer x plus minus x greatest integer is equal to minus 1 when x is not an integer. Let's see. So we will assume x is I plus f, where greatest integral value is I, and obviously f is the fractional value of x, which lies between 0 and 1. What do we say about minus x greatest integral value? So we can write x as I plus f, so it becomes minus I minus f. In the next step, minus I minus 1 plus 1 minus f we can write, so that 1 minus f again becomes a positive fraction. 1 minus a positive fraction will be a positive fraction only. Okay, so the greatest integral value of minus x would be minus I minus 1. Now if you see greatest x plus minus x, okay, this is what we are doing. We are doing the proof of the second one. Okay, so in this case, greatest integer x is I, and minus x greatest integer came out to be minus I minus 1. This 2 gets cancelled out and minus equals to minus 1 is established. Now let's see few more things regarding these concepts. These are properties or not, that you will come to know after our discussion. Let me write few things like x square greatest integer and greatest x square. Then again the next is kx greatest integer, k times greatest integer x. K is any real number. Okay, then mod of x greatest integral and greatest integral of mod x. My question in these three things, in which of these cases equality is there? This is, let's say, first, second, third. Tell me. You can try to prove, or you can use some examples also. let's consider for this first one 2.5 square, which is 6.25. Greatest integer is 6. 2.5 greatest integer is 2. 2 square is 4. As you can see, they are not equal. They are not equal in general. Maybe in some specific case they may be equal. Okay, like if x is an integer or something. Okay, but otherwise they are not equal. Similarly, we can take example for this also, second kx. From here we can say that k is any real number, so this is not integer. Okay, since k is any real number, so k into integer may not be integer. Okay, so this is not an integer always, but this is an integer, so we can directly say without any example that these are not equal. Okay, in the second case, and we can take example also. Similarly, in third, mod x, greatest integer mod x. Okay, for 3 also we can take some example like x equals to 3 by let's say minus 5 by 3 if you take. Okay, minus 5 by 3 or minus 8 by 3 if we take. Okay, minus 8 by 3, what we will get here, minus 8 by 3 gives plus 8 by 3, the modulus, which is 2. Now if you take greatest x of minus 8 by 3 and then take mod, the greatest x of minus 8 by 3, which is minus 2.67, is minus 3, which is 3. So again they are not equal. So in general they are not equal. Maybe in some specific cases they may be equal. So these are the properties, and these were some things, few things that we may sometimes tend to believe that they are correct, but they are not. So they are also, these things are also need to be kept in mind. Now let's take an example. Greatest integer 2x square minus 3 times 2x plus 1, greatest integer plus 5 equals to 0. Let's try this. Okay, so our approach can be like this. We convert this into greatest integer 2x. This is already, so we can put this greatest integer 2x equals to t and solve the quadratic in t. Okay, so using the property greatest integer of y plus n is greatest integer y plus n, where n is any integer, we can write this as 2x plus 1, greatest integer as greatest integer 2x plus 1, and then we will assume greatest integer 2x equals to t. So this 2x greatest integer, same as it is 2x plus 1 greatest integer, can be written as 2x greatest integer plus 1 plus 5 equals to 0. Now we will put this as t. So which is t square plus 3 times t plus 1 plus 5 equals to 0. It is minus sign. So minus 3t minus 3 plus 5 equals to 0. So minus 3 plus 5 gives you plus 2. And now we will factorize this by splitting minus 3t as minus 2t minus t, and first two terms taking t common, last two terms minus 1 common, we will get t minus 2 common, t minus 1 equals to 0, which gives us t minus 2 equals to 0, t minus 1 equals to 0. We get the value of t as 2 comma 1. Now t is greatest integer 2x is equal to 2 and greatest integer 2x equals to 1. So using the property greatest y equals to n gives n to n plus 1. So y is 2x. We can write this as, here n is equal to 2. So 2 to 2 plus 1, which is 3. And this can be written as 2x here n is 1, so 1 2 1 plus 1, which is 2. Multiplying both the inequalities by 1 by 2, we will get the range of x like this: 1 by 2, 2x into by 2 into 2 by 2. We will get the value of x, 2 gets cancelled, as 1 to 3 by 2, or half to 1. So this can be written as half to 1, half included, so square bracket 1 open, union 1 to 3 by 2, 1 included, which can be written as half included to 3 by 2 open interval. An example: k is equal to 1 to 201, greatest integer of half plus k by 200. How we will attempt this? Let's see. The approach, if you think, just try to put some values 1 and 1, 2, 3 and see what you are getting, and then subsequently you just see that this becomes half when k is 100. So put 100, 99, 101, around that what value greatest integer we are getting, that also we have to check. And then finally the last values 200, 201, what we are getting. From there we can get an idea that from which range to which range this greatest integer is 0, from which range to which range this greatest integer is 1, and so on. That way we can approach this. That way if we substitute values, k is equal to 1, 1 by 200, okay, 2 by 200, that way if you can check, the value of this becomes 0, this also becomes 0, but if you check till 100, it becomes, so when you put 100 by 200, this becomes half, so you will get 1. So from this and onwards, from k is equal to 100, 101 also you will get 1, and if you check the last term 201, again it is around 1 point something, so 1 point something plus half greatest integer will also give you 1 only. So as you can see, it goes like this. So it means that from k is equal to 1 to 99, we got greatest integer as 0, and from starting from k is equal to 100 to k is equal to 201, the greatest integer that we were getting for each term from 100 to 201 is 1. So we will count number of ones from 100 to 200. How many ones are there? 1 plus 1 plus 1. How many times? So 102 times. So 102 times, if we add 1, we will get 102, which would be our answer to this. Another example, that if x is between 1 to k, 1 included, and greatest integer x attains 100 different values, find k or find the range of k. Now how we will attempt this? See, the approach can be, we can check for k is equal to 100 and nearby values. Now why k is equal to 100? Because integer to integer, as I said, greatest integer attains exactly one value. So just we can write something like this, like for 1 to 2 greatest integer is x, as I said, integer to next integer, greatest integer is a fixed value. So 2 to 3, 2 included, greatest integer has fixed value 2. So that way we have to think. So this is one value, this is again one value, so these, it attains 100 different values, so that way we can proceed. So that's why I said if you think you have to check, you can check around k is equal to 100. So if you think, if you go by that, if you check 100 to 101, greatest integer is 100. Now if you add one value, you will end up getting 100 values when x is from 1 to 101. Okay, from here we can say that k can be 101. What exactly is k? Is it 101 or less than that? So if you see, instead of 101, if I write 100.7, 100 to 100.7 also greatest integer will be 100 only. So the value of k can be slightly greater than 100 but lesser than 101. So that's the range of value of k, 100 to 101. Now if greatest integer is less than equal to n, where n is some integer, what do you think x should be? In what range it should possibly lie? It's like this. We'll plot the number line. This is n, this is n plus 1, this is n minus 1. Okay, now just try values around n. Like if you put n, will it satisfy? Yes. If you put value slightly greater than n, will it satisfy? Yes. Okay, slightly greater than n also will satisfy the equality part. Similarly, what about slightly lesser than n plus 1? Again it will satisfy. What about n plus 1? If I substitute here n plus 1 lesser than equal to n, n plus 1 lesser than equal to n, it won't satisfy. So n plus 1 won't be taken, and all the points on the left of n also will satisfy this. So we can say that x is what? Yes, x is lesser than n plus 1 is the solution to this inequality. Now let's take an example. Greatest 3x minus 1 lesser than 7. What is x? Just try. For those who tried, they can check the answer for verification is this. Now we will solve it. Okay. So if you see, we can write this as greatest integer 3x minus 1 comes out from the property that y plus n, if any integer is inside greatest integer, it comes out of it, less than 7. Now we will add 1 both sides. In this, adding 1, it gives this. So greatest integer 3x is less than 8. So what it means? See, this is an integer, okay? An integer which is lesser than 8. It more precisely, this inequality means lesser than 8 means what? 7. So this means 3x can be 7 or lesser than that. It satisfies this. So the meaning of this always would be this only. Now when you got this, you can use this result. Okay. So using this inequality x less than n plus, where x is 3x here. Okay. So n is 7, n plus 1 is 8, so you will write 8. It should be noted that we already proved that integer or any number cannot come out of it. Okay. So now multiply by 1 by 8, 1 by 3, both sides. We will get this x less than 8 by 3, which means this. Similarly, next thing, if instead of this, if I ask you greatest integer x greater than equal to n, where n is an integer, what is x? Can we derive this? This is not an example, this is okay. So if we check at n, it will satisfy. Slightly greater than n, it will satisfy. N plus 1 also satisfy. If you reduce it slightly lesser than n, then greatest integer becomes n minus 1, so it won't satisfy. So clearly we can say that the solution of this is what? X is greater than equal to n. Okay. Let's try a question. Greatest integer x square is greater than 5. What is x? So first of all, an integer which is greater than 5 means what? X. This is whole thing is an integer. So this integer which we call x square, greatest integer greater than 5, means it should start with 6 and onwards. The same way that we did here. This was construed as, understood as this. So this is understood like this. Okay, so in the next step, what if greatest x, will use this. So x square, so x square greater than equal to 6, which I can write as root 6 square. Okay, now using the result, x square greater than equal to a square means x greater than equal to a or x less than equal to minus a. This is what we know from inequalities, basic quadratic inequalities. So the answer to this would be x greater than equal to root 6 or x less than equal to minus root 6. In interval form, it can be written as minus infinity to minus root 6 union root 6 to infinity. Minus root 6 is also included, root 6 is also included.